Hey guys, it's Mindset Arc podcast, and today I wanted to talk about something that is again content creation related, but it can be actually used with just for shaping your own thoughts, just for using some other people ideas, philosophies, concepts, and applying it in a way that works for us. So I call this concept of stealing other people's ideas, and I want to write article on it for a long time already, and I will get to it at some point, but for now, let's just talk about it. Let's get to it. So lately I've been worrying about using concepts mainly that were created by Andy from Kill Your Inner Loser blog, podcast, YouTube channel. He has a lot. And he is the person that I got a lot of my philosophies and concepts that created me from. That is me giving credit to him for now. So we're finished with that, and now I can use anything. Easy. So when I started my blog, when I started this channel podcast, when I started creating my own stuff, and even when I was doing my first 365 project, when I was doing photography and editing it with Photoshop, so I was basically doing some concepts. I was really afraid of being associated with something that was already created. So basically, I was really afraid of stealing other people's ideas, concepts, of not having them as my own. That it won't be my own creation, it would be some other people creation. And if you dive deep into that, it's ego. It's basically ego just wanting to say, oh, that is my own thing, I created it myself. But the truth of the matter is, everything was already created by someone. Like, our civilization was exists so freaking many years already. Everything, every concept, especially some ideas or philosophies that we're talking about, that we try to apply for ourselves, they were created by someone else always. Like, I don't think there's something else left to create. Maybe in art sphere, when something new, some new technique of doing art created, then yeah, it can be something completely new. But even then, like, all of the concepts, all of the ideas were probably done by someone else. So almost everything that we are doing is not the original ideas of someone. It's just people improving upon something that other people invented, created, that this, like, it just goes so long into the history, like just people using other ideas for kickstarting their own, and that process just goes on and on and on again. And talking about the concepts, philosophies, some ideas that you can use, I think it's beneficial to think about it as a lesson that you can learn. Because consider this, if you are talking with your friend and he or she gives you some ideas that you will after that go and use in your content, in your art, you can mention them. Like, I will get to the topic of giving credit later. But actually, it feels okay because you were just talking and this idea came to your mind. But probably this person gave you that idea in some way or another. But this somehow feels okay. But if you're gonna go and watch some video, or you watch some artwork that was created, or you read some article and you get some of your own ideas. At least for me, it felt like I'm stealing I when it hits me close and I want to share it again from my own perspective. It felt always like I was stealing that. But I wasn't. It was a lesson for me. I read it. It's like when we read books and share something from them. Somehow it feels good. Somehow it feels like we should share them. We should share some concepts from books and we mention them. Like, yeah, again, to the topic of giving credit, I go to it later. But somehow from direct content, especially if for now I record in podcasts, if I hear something in another people podcast, I'm really reluctant to use it in as my own idea, to try to shape it into my own thoughts. And it's strange. It's funny how we receive different kinds of content, and some of them are, we consider they're our own creations, our own ideas. Some of them we're just really good at sharing, considering books. And some of them are really, we think that other people own these ideas. But probably they are not owning them also. They probably read them in some books or encountered, or their friends gave it to them. All of our ideas that we have around us are created by collectively. They're usually not the product of only of our own mind, because it's impossible. We are always affected by everyone around us. So I would think treating this, everything that we learn from other people, in any way, as a lesson. And then you can use it. Then you learn something, and then you can share that with other people. So I'm recording this episode firstly for myself, to remind myself that it is okay to do that. To, if I will find some piece of content that I want to rehash on, to give my own take on it, if it affected me so much that I want to share it from my own perspective, that I can do that. Because that is the truth. I know logically that I can, but I need to brainwash myself into thinking that it is okay also. And I want to do the same for you. Another idea that I want to talk about here is using other people content and other people ideas. How can we apply it to our own? Because think about it, if someone else invented this idea, it doesn't really work for you in this current form. It's probably shaped to suit that person, their view on the world, their ethical dilemmas, just their concepts of how they are approaching life. You may have entirely different view at the same things, and it just won't work for you. But the idea itself may be solid, but the implementation of this idea may not work for you, may not suit you. So what do you do in that case? Well, you try to go deeper into how this idea was created. What is the core idea of that concept, of that philosophy? You find that, you're breaking it down to the very core, and then you're rebuilding it to suit you. You add in your own views around it. You're adding it to fit you perfectly. That's why I think that creating some content, especially writing articles, especially sharing it with other people, it can be really beneficial to shape your own ideas. I found it that it works when I create my own articles. I I shape the concepts that I heard from someone else for me to understand. I get them better after I wrote an article on it. Sorry, me. Sorry, I just cannot speak today properly. I'm recording this episode after the last one, and I'm already tired of talking. Today I'm not talking so well. My brain just doesn't want to work properly, so this is probably gonna be hard to listen to as well, but I'll try my best. So yeah, back to the topic. When you break it and rebuild into something of your own, you can actually use it afterwards. So, and you can share it. It makes it even better. When you try to share some concept, you're formulating it in the words that are easy to understand for other people, and that makes it makes yourself be able to easier understand this concept. Or for example, if you're recording videos or podcasts, you can just re-listen to it and just have this idea ingrained into your brain. That's how you internalize ideas, by finding some concept that you think may work and building on top of it, building something that will fit you perfectly, because that will only work for you. That's why I think that taking some other people's ideas and having your own take on it can be really beneficial for both of them, for both of you. And so it would be really beneficial for both of you. Give credit to people for that. So I sometimes forget to do that as well. That is a skill that I think everything is a skill, and giving credit to people that you take ideas from is definitely a skill as well. Because talking about some friends or people that I just talk about randomly, I will probably forget to mention that I got this idea from them. But at least I can practice it with ideas that I got from some books or I got from some other people who are doing videos or podcasts. As I mentioned Andy at the start. This was some of his idea. I don't remember what exactly, but this concept again is something that he mentioned either in private conversation while doing coaching or in some of his content. So yeah, I try to give him some credit for that. Yeah, when you give credit to people, you can just mention them. You can leave a link to them if you're doing some content. If you like write in a journal for yourself, then yeah, probably it's not really required. But I guess if you even mention them in your own journal just by saying the name of who gave you this idea, it still pays some tribute. It makes you feel better. It makes you feel like you're not stealing that content. You're taking a lesson from them, and it's like you're you're getting their idea and sharing it even more. So it lives through you, it keeps living through you and through other people that adopt it. So you are sharing their ideas in your own way. So when you give credit, it makes you feel better. Again, it makes that person feel appreciated as well, because there may be some people that find them through you. If you are a content creator, they will find a regional person who gave you the idea through you, and you both will benefit from it. There is nothing wrong in just giving some credit to some other person. It may be scary to do. You may think that just mentioning some other person will make people on the internet like find them and see like, oh, you stole this idea. So it can make some people easier job of finding similarities between your content and your original person who gave you this idea. But why do you care about what these people will think? Most people will look at it and they will be grateful for you to give credit to the original idea. Yeah, don't be afraid to do that. I'm saying this to myself as well as to you because I struggle with it right now, and I'll try to do it better later in next episodes. So yeah, I want to end this right now. I want to end this a little bit of suffering of talking today. Today my speech just doesn't work properly. I just cannot articulate anything. But I guess it will be a good practice to still do it even in these circumstances. Yeah, I like how it turned out to be. I hope you got something out of it. Yeah, to reiterate, it's okay to use other people's ideas, it's okay to adapt them to you, it's okay to share them. And it's better to give credit to people if you share, if you expand on their ideas and you share them. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say today. And as always, have fun with it.